welcome to another Sonic Lab. Today we're very lucky that we've got one of the new iMacs, the M1 iMacs. This is the brand new thing from Apple. It really is super impressive. I mean, it's thin as you like. I mean, it's almost iPad thickness. I don't know how they managed to get this engineering. It's got really beefy speakers, beefed up camera, uses all that sort of AI goodness to enhance both the camera and the audio. Some really smart stuff going on in there. This isn't the bottom of the range module. The bottom of the range just comes with a pair of USB 3 ports, which is a bit stingy. This has got two Thunderbolt 3 ports plus two USB-C ports. This has also got 16 gigs of RAM and a 512 gig hard drive. But really, that's not why we're here. We're actually here to look at the new UHI plugins, which are all, in fact, ARM M1 ready. So the entire range. What I've done here is I've created a little arrangement using as many instances. I'm using plugins, I'm using VSTIs. The only thing I'm not using, I think, is a kick drum, which I'm using from one of the straight Apple. This is in Logic Pro X. Now, why would you get all excited about M1 Macs? I suppose if you perhaps don't know, it's worth just mentioning. They use this thing called a system on a chip. And the thing about the system on the chip is everything's integrated. Yeah, it's all their own silicon, which does mean it's a closed system. So you can't upgrade the RAM, you can't upgrade the processor, you can't upgrade the storage internally. But it does mean that there's this high efficiency, and the efficiency counts when it's accessing the memory, amongst many other things. But memory is a big deal because what it does is allow you to use the same memory for the GPU cores and the CPU cores, and it makes for a much more sort of snappy and shorter round trip experience. Also, it means that there's much less power used, so there's no fans. This is a very noise-free kind of computer setup, which for many people is very important. Downside is obviously the lack of upgradability, and also if you're using masses of RAM-intensive processing, certainly in audio, like huge orchestral libraries, then that's a bit more tricky because you can only go up to 16 gigs of RAM maximum in here. This one has 16 gigs, but the base model comes with 8, so you've only got two options on this iMac. I guess there might be some more professional machines coming along with higher RAM counts, but time will tell. We'll have to see. This is the purple one. It's really designed more for the consumer. You know, the idea if you have this thing in your home, everybody could use it. And it's got some really nice smarts. Like I say, the camera's really good, the mic's really good, which means for people working at home, video conferencing and stuff. So I just thought I would take the opportunity because Apple said, do you want to have a look at it? And you know, you don't say no to Apple, even though we don't get any benefits apart from just being able to look at it. This is going back in a couple of days and we don't get a discount, which is really sad. But anyway, let's just flip through a few of these tracks. I've got Ace on this track, which is a sort of bass sound that's running. Again, all of these are ARM native. I've got Bazille on this one, which is a much more comprehensive kind of modular. I'm using this, it's got quite an interesting sequence. Then I've got an instance of Hive 2. These are all my arpeggiator. That's a great sound, that. And then I've got Repro 5, which is like a sort of polyphonic version of the Pro 1. This is really nice. So I've got a bunch of those, and we've got Podolsky, which I have not come across before. I've got some very wide echo on this. Something called Triple Cheese, which is, this is my sort of Inception / Zimmer-esque kind of part. This Triple Cheese, in fact, is freeware, by the way, so you can just download that for now if you really fancy some M1 action at a low cost. Then I've got, what's this one? This is just a hi-hat. Another arpeggiator. This is in Zebra 2. Again, real powerhouse. Howard Scar patch in full effect, one of their great patch makers. Then I've got a bit of electric piano, which is just the regular Logic instrument, but I'm using Color Copy, which is really nice echoey effects on the plugin there. And then I'm not using that one. And then I'm using Diva. Now Diva, as we know, is a fairly chunky machine, quite heavy on it. I've set all of these to Divine, which is the highest quality. So if I now play this, the idea with this was really to kind of create this real world example of, you know, what would be going on here. So let's just take a look. So basically what we're looking at here are the Rev 12001 AU Mac ARM64. Now these are all native, and before we get there I should probably mention what that means is we get native M1 capability, which means they're more efficient. I mean, the OS has actually been pretty good in terms of Rosetta friendly stuff. Diva, I got a lot of instances. There's not massive increase on the Diva from my previous test with the Mac 1, but with all of these added together, we can see 20 to 30% increase in polyphony or more and instance count. So let's just press go. I'm using the clips function here, but for some bizarre reason, they're not MIDI clipped. You know, I can't seem to trigger them from MIDI or key commands, which is just, I don't know why that is. So if I just press go now on my intro, and I've got a little lead line which I can play over this. Launch another clip. Bring the next one. Lovely Repro 5 stuff coming in. There's my Zimmer brass. Now I'll go over to my next section. See, there was quite a lot of action on the performance meter. I've got this set up in, let me just tell you how I've got it set up. So we go to my preferences and we go general. So I've got audio, I've got a Scarlett 2i2, just simple, IO buffer size 22. I've set it to be high performance, 4 high performance cores, processing threads. Process buffer range is small, multi-threading, playback and live tracks. And standard precision 32-bit. I can try that at 64. Let's see if that makes a difference. And we'll play it again. Maybe we'll play this section. I mean, I'm getting some good action there. I mean, I've still probably got a certain amount of headroom. I think I did a test previously where I just I did a really cheesy track. Not that this isn't cheesy, but which incidentally, if you want, I'll print all the stems for this so you can have them on Patreon and just have an examination of how good some of these synths sounds. Because the one thing about Yuhi stuff is we know it sounds really good, but it does come at a CPU cost. They don't sort of they don't shy away from using the CPU. But I'm told that the all of this extra optimization for the M1 has really yielded some extra results. So you can actually use quite a lot more instances and more voices, so you get a lot more going on. Patreon.com/sonicstate.com. Not only will you get the stems for this, I'll chuck the Logic file up there as well, but you also get ad-free versions of all our monetized videos, plus Sonic Talk pre-show and all those sort of things. Anyway, I won't go on about that too much. And what's really impressive about this is UHE are offering all these updates to ARM savvy plugins across their entire range, which is a non-trivial amount of work, I can assure you. It's a free update to existing users, so you just log in, you download it, you're done. And kudos to them for that, because that is a massive amount of work. Apple always say, oh, it's really easy when they're caught in their developers say all you got to do is compile it for the new chip. Believe me, it's not that. There must have been a ton of work, and I know they've been very busy behind the scenes. Not only that, they've also improved the browsers, easy drag and drop soundset installation, a new resource management in Hive means most presets will use even less CPU rather. Support for MTS, a new project-wide microtuning standard, new designs for Triple Cheese, which is freeware, of course, and Zebra CM, which is magazine wear. You usually find that free with magazine episodes. Better overall performance on all plugins on all platforms. So if you want to get some of that, you head over to uhe.com and you download your existing plugins in M1 format, assuming you've got the hardware.